Have you ever felt like you're constantly being watched, judged, evaluated, as if every decision you make has to pass through the invisible filter of public opinion? We live in a world where external validation has become a kind of social currency. Our achievements feel smaller if they're not recognized. Our mistakes seem heavier when they're exposed. But do we really need others' approval to live a meaningful life? The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer believed that the pursuit of acceptance is one of the greatest obstacles to an authentic existence. To him, other people's opinions are like shadows, appearing imposing but ultimately lacking real substance. Today, we're diving into Schopenhauer's thoughts on this topic and discovering how we can free ourselves from the crushing weight of external validation. 1. The prison of public opinion. Since ancient times, humans have lived under the rule of an invisible court, the judgment of society. Whether on social media or in everyday interactions, the pursuit of acceptance has become almost instinctual. However, Schopenhauer saw this dependence as a form of mental slavery. According to him, the more we care about what others think, the further we drift from our true essence. He once said, "What another says, thinks, or does should be as indifferent to us as what they imagine would make us happy or unhappy." But why is it so hard to ignore the opinions of others? From a young age, we are conditioned to seek approval. Those who behave well receive praise. Those who follow the norm are accepted. The fear of rejection shapes our behaviors, and without realizing it, we become prisoners of the need to please. The problem is that this prison has no visible bars, but its chains are very real. How many decisions have we made not because we truly wanted to, but because we felt it was what others expected of us? For Schopenhauer, this dependence on others' approval is a deep philosophical mistake. He believed that most people live superficially without reflecting on their own motivations. Seeking validation in a world where few truly think for themselves is a path to frustration. True freedom, he argued, is not about being accepted, but about being indifferent to external judgment. But how do we achieve this freedom? 2. The illusion of recognition. Are we more than the image we project? We live in an era where image matters more than substance. How many people are respected not for who they truly are, but for who they appear to be? Schopenhauer warns us about the danger of seeking recognition, as it does not reflect our real worth, only a shallow projection of what others expect to see. He wrote, "Fame must be earned, honor only needs to be maintained." In other words, honor is a reflection of our character, while fame and recognition depend on the external gaze. But this gaze is unstable, fickle, and often unfair. History is filled with examples of thinkers and artists who were rejected in life, only to be recognized after death. Van Gogh sold only one painting in his entire lifetime. Nietzsche died forgotten, dismissed as insane. If recognition were a reliable measure of worth, would these geniuses have died in obscurity? Schopenhauer teaches that living for reputation is a waste of our essence. When we depend on others' approval, we become puppets of external judgment. We lose our authenticity, shape ourselves to fit others' expectations, and in the end, we cease to be who we truly are. The question is inevitable. If we shouldn't seek recognition, then what truly matters? Schopenhauer's answer is clear. What matters is living by our own principles and finding value in who we are, not in what others think of us. 3. Is the majority always wrong? Society teaches us that following the majority is a sign of security, but Schopenhauer believed the exact opposite. To him, trust in common sense is a dangerous mistake because most people live without questioning their own beliefs. He once said, "Public opinion is like a respectable prostitute. Once it has sold itself to everyone, it belongs to no one." What did he mean by this? That popular ideas are fragile, unstable, and often built on illusions. What is accepted today may be ridiculed tomorrow. What is considered truth today may turn out to be a mistake in the future. Think of figures like Galileo, condemned for claiming the earth revolves around the sun, or Socrates, forced to drink poison for challenging the norms of Athens. In their time, both were mocked and rejected. And what does this teach us? That the majority isn't always wrong, but they are rarely right for the right reasons. The masses follow conventions, not deep reflections. They act on impulse, not wisdom. And most importantly, they reject anything that challenges their certainties. Schopenhauer believed that the pursuit of wisdom requires independent thought. It means having the courage to disagree, to follow your own path, even if it means walking alone. But how do we develop this independence? 4. True worth, self-esteem versus external validation. If others' opinions are unstable and the majority is often mistaken, where should we seek our true worth? Schopenhauer gives us a clear answer within ourselves. He wrote, "The ordinary man is concerned with what others think of him. The wise man is only concerned with what he thinks of himself." This means that the only approval that truly matters is our own. But this is a difficult path because we've been trained since childhood to measure our worth by external reactions. We seek praise, likes, recognition, and when we don't get them, we start doubting ourselves. Schopenhauer saw self-esteem as a shield against the world's illusions. Those who build a strong sense of self-worth don't need applause to move forward. But how do we strengthen this self-esteem? The answer lies in action. We must dedicate ourselves to something that gives us meaning, regardless of what others think. Writing, painting, studying, building, anything that helps us grow from within. When we find value in what we do rather than in what others say about us, we become truly free. The freedom to live without needing others' approval is not arrogance, it's wisdom. When we understand this, we take a step away from the prison of public opinion and move toward something far more valuable: true authenticity. 5. The freedom to be, the path of the authentic individual. If the pursuit of approval imprisons us, then what does it mean to be truly free? For Schopenhauer, freedom is not about doing whatever we want without consequences. It's about not being a hostage to others' opinions. He believed that the key to this liberation lies in solitude and introspection. He wrote, "Solitude is the destiny of all exceptional minds." This doesn't mean we should reject society, but rather that we must learn to be self-sufficient. When we rely less on others to validate our existence, we find a state of inner independence that few ever achieve. The path to authenticity requires courage. It means taking responsibility for our choices without seeking approval. It means accepting that not everyone will understand our way of living. But it also means discovering a rare kind of peace. The peace of being who we truly are, without fear, without masks, without compromise. Schopenhauer teaches us that life is far too short to be wasted trying to please others. In the end, The only thing that truly matters is whether we lived according to our own truth. And what about you? Are you ready to leave behind the weight of others' opinions and live according to your true essence? Conclusion: the weight of others' opinions and the path to freedom. Throughout this video, we explored how dependence on others' opinions can imprison us. We saw how Schopenhauer warns us about the dangers of seeking external validation, the fragility of reputation, and the tendency of the majority to be mistaken. We learned that true freedom does not come from others' approval, but from building a strong sense of self-worth. When we free ourselves from the fear of judgment, we begin to live authentically and fully. Now, the final reflection is yours. How many choices in your life were made to please others rather than yourself? If this video resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content on philosophy and self-discovery. And in the comments, tell us, what was the biggest lesson you took from Schopenhauer's philosophy?